Well, here I am again. My name is JDavis, and this is Radio Entrepreneurs. We continue to stream stories of entrepreneurship and leadership, and here's another new one. Ilan
Ilan
Tiagai,
Tiagai.
Tiagai, CEO and co-founder of Smart Hygiene.
Good morning.
Good morning. What does Smart Hygiene do?
So we built the world's smartest toilet seat / bidet to enable seniors, people with disabilities and patients achieve excellent toilet hygiene, avoid UTIs and other infections, regain their independence, regain their dignity, and to some extent also become safer by avoiding falls around the toilet. So that's us in a nutshell.
Well, could you explain a little bit more about its functionality, what makes it so special? I think it sounds great.
Yeah, so basically, the concept is you take a simple action and you come out clean. I try to de-emphasize the technology. I will talk about the technology briefly, but really, this is about the user. And it doesn't matter if there's AI underneath or voodoo. The bottom line is that a simple action and the user comes out clean. The simple action that we're starting with is a button press, but soon enough, we will add a voice command for the visually impaired and people with severe mobility issues that don't want to turn around or can't turn around and look for a button. So what the product does is essentially identifies your orifices, lower body orifices, the genitalia, and all the feces. And it directs a water nozzle in 2 dimensions to clean the person thoroughly, and then it dries the user. So the idea here is that a person takes care of business, takes a simple action, and is good to go. He's clean, we reduce UTIs, maybe even eliminate them, we don't know yet. And the person is no longer dependent on a caretaker to help them with this function.
All very interesting, and I can see how it could be useful. What's your background that sort of led you to be doing all of this?
So I'm a technologist. I spent all of my career in technology. My first startup in 2001 made voice recognition, and we had a contract with Samsung to embed our technology in their mobile phones. And I spent a lot of time in South Korea working with Samsung, and then I traveled to Japan as well, and I've seen bidets everywhere. These were the electronic bidets that they have their issues of their own, but they were fantastic products, and I loved them. And it's hard to go back to toilet paper once you try an electronic bidet. And back in the mid-2000s, I thought about or the late 2000s, I thought about quitting my job and just importing them to the United States. Turns out I did not have a business case for this because the big electronic bidet manufacturers were already here. Toto, for example, has a facility a little south of Atlanta. And excuse the pun, but they haven't done shit in the United States as far as penetrating the market. There are many other companies making electronic bidets in the US, but they haven't done anything. And there are good reasons for it. So I've been thinking about it. And I thought that for a population like ours, which is very, it's not like the population in Korea and Japan, which is generally very homogeneous. Most men are 5'6" to 5'9", flat stomachs, black hair. The default settings for any bidet would more or less work for all of them. But here we are very tall and short and fat and thin and white and black. And so in many cases, using a bidet here would require an adjustment. The current bidets have control panels and you can adjust them. And that's a no-go for us. That's a problem. That's not going to be usable, especially if you don't know if it's misadjusted until it sprays on you. So anyways, I'm sorry, I went on a tangent a bit, but to answer your question.
I liked it. I was listening.
So, but to answer your question, for a long time, I thought about what we can do to adapt this technology to the US market. And in addition to the problem that I've described of complexity with these control panels and adjustments, and potential errors or accidents. The other problem that we have in the United States is there's a little bit of a stigma on products like these, products that have to do with lubrication. And to solve that problem, we've decided to introduce this product as a healthcare product. So people in senior care, people who need help, people who are post-surgery, women post-childbirth, all of those people can use such a product. And in this market, in healthcare and senior care, the stigma doesn't really exist. You can talk to these folks about defecation. You can talk to these people about helping people shower. There's no stigma. There's no problem. That's the life they live. And so hopefully this is going to be the beginning of what I believe would be a revolution in toilet hygiene in the United States. Instead of using toilet paper like we've been doing since 1857, we can finally bring technology to bear, take a simple action, say a button press, and let the technology do its thing. Let the technology get us thoroughly clean, just like we do with our dishwashers, just like we do with our washing machines. You know, if you had cheese on your plate and it's fairly clean, or if you had pasta on your plate and it's fairly dirty, you put them all in the dishwasher, you press a button and you forget about it, and it all comes out clean. That's exactly what we're doing here.
Well, I think it's all very interesting, and I like the idea of going to senior care. So you establish a base of business. How are you going to be selling, direct or through distributors? How are you going to work the whole sales and marketing model?
So we are, when you're talking about senior care, this is actually our beachhead market, the senior living facilities. And that's a B2B market. And we are going to, we were awarded a contract from Premier, which is the second largest group purchasing organization in the United States. And Premier and the network have lots of hospitals, over 4,300 hospitals and thousands of senior care facilities. So we're going to go through them. We're going to go through Premier. We're going to go through a couple of other regional GPOs, group purchasing organizations. And we will also at some point be able to sell directly to the mom and pop operations that have 1 or 2 or 3 senior living facilities. But by and large, this is going to be done with sales teams of the distributors or the GPOs or other organizations that provide services to allow us to penetrate the market here in the US, the senior living market.
Ilan, how are you financing the building up of this?
So most of it we financed ourselves from founders' contributions. We've also raised $250,000 from an investor, from an angel, and we took out some loans. But right now we are in the process of raising our, I don't know if you want to call it seed round or Series A, because we're looking for $7.5 million. But this is the next target that we have as far as funding the company.
Are there any other shareholders other than you?
Oh yeah, so we have about 10 shareholders in all. There is the team, and we have a team that is composed of other folks here. And just so I don't screw things up, I'll just mention their titles. So we have a principal scientist, we have a VP of product, we have a VP of business development, we have a VP of sales, and we have 4 advisors.
Interesting. Ilan, if somebody wants to know more about you and Smart Hygiene, and I have a Toto product, and I can see where there's advantages as I get older to what you're talking about, how would they find you?
So the easiest way to find us is go to our website, www.smarthygiene.com. And then from there, you can send us an email, get in touch, and we'll respond promptly.
Right. Remind everybody, this is Radio Entrepreneurs. I want to thank you for being on the show today. And we hope that you come back again and we follow up on the progress of the business.
Thank you very much.
This is Radio Entrepreneurs.